guys, welcome to Educating Shani. I'm Shani and I'm recovering from eating disorder. Hi Shani. Hi. Welcome back to the channel. Okay, so I am, as you can see from the title of this video, I'm going to do a response video to Diet Cokehead and her past couple videos about me. I have responded to some of her videos in the past, but usually I'll only respond to the ones that are like respectful or like semi-respectful. And I feel like she was like 90% respectful in these last two videos. Well, maybe 80, I don't know. Anyway, but if you don't know who she is, she's just another YouTuber, and she's very opposite of me. We talk about very similar things, but she does it in a different way than I do, and I do it in the different way she does, and that has caused us to butt heads. She does not like me, and you know it, Diet Cokehead, so don't even. So I'm responding to this because obviously she's gonna criticize me a lot in this, but I do feel like it's coming from a place which happens once in a while with her towards me, where she actually like cares about my well-being a little bit. And so that's why I wanted to respond to this and kind of like say my feelings on it and stand up for myself where I feel it's needed, and also point out some of the good points that she makes. So that's what this is. So here we go.
Hi. So videos where I talk shit get views because I'm disappointed in everyone and I'm no better than anyone. And I'm going to make this video before I go and sell some ass on the internet because I am disappointed in myself. But hey.
Okay, but like, girl, ugh. I feel like no matter what I'm going to say, you're going to take it as like I'm being too fluff and I'm being too soft and I'm being too like people please and putting on a face and putting on a mask. I mean it when I've told you all the time in the past. You have a lot of valuable things to say. You really do. You're extremely smart. You're very talented musically. Just the way you talk to people is not what the majority of the world likes, and that's you, and I don't like it either. I think you're rude. I think that you're can be really like offensive and hurtful, but like I don't think that you're a worthless person. I think that you're very smart. You've got a lot of good things to say, and I think even though like you have called me like horrendous names and you've been so freaking rude to me so many times over, you're even gonna be rude to me in this video, spoiler alert, but not like as rude in the past. That's why like I want to respond to when you're talking to me as if I'm a human being instead of talking to me as if I'm like this disgusting, pathetic, bulimic Jesus, whatever you want to call me. Like, if you take away calling me names and like treating me rude, I'll listen to you. And I think that that's how a lot of the world is. However, I've also seen in your comments of your videos so many people saying like, oh my gosh, like thank you for saying it how it is, because that's what I need to hear. I'm the type of person like you where I just need it to be bluntly said and not sugar-coated and not danced around and not over-explained, and just say it how it is. And that helps me in my recovery, and that helps me feel safe. So like you have value in you, that you're helping people. And I know that like you and I are like polar opposites, but I feel like we both have very similar goals on the internet. I could be wrong. I've offered this before and you've refused in the past, but I feel like both of us have grown since then. And if you ever want to, I feel like I could soften you up a little bit for the internet, and I feel like you could toughen me up a little bit for the internet, because I need to be tougher. You need to be softer. I need to be tougher. That's just the truth. But that doesn't mean that you're whatever that you think about yourself. Like that's not true. You're just this type of person, and you don't sugarcoat, and you just say how you feel, and some people benefit from that. And so keep on doing this, because some people will benefit from it. I just would encourage to be nice to people. That's all. Most people that you're trying to reach have been abused in their past and been called names and been called all these horrible things. And so that's the part that like hurts me. If you ever like call me names and say things that like I was told, you know, traumatically in my childhood or whatever, like and that's not your fault, but I'm just saying just think about that. This video is proof. This and the next video are proof that you have it in you to do it in a civil way, and you deserve to be kind to yourself as well. I know that's like cheesy and stupid to you, and I know we're totally different people, and that's the way that I talk, and that's not the way that you talk, but that's the way that I talk, and I mean it when I say it, that you deserve to be kind to yourself as well. And a lot of people can see it too. They'll watch your videos and they'll be like, wait, what you're saying is really important, and it's true, and it's like really important. I think it's your delivery that's why it's not reaching more people. But I also think that your delivery is reaching a lot of people that are not like me, you know? that don't need it softened and sugar coated and needing it to feel as safe as possible. They just need somebody to bluntly say, like, this is how it is. This is life and this is how it is. And you do that for people. I've read your comments before. I've seen people say, oh my gosh, like, you get it. Nobody else gets how I'm feeling. Everybody else is just so like timid and sensitive about it, which is also a good thing in my opinion. But the other way can work too for other people. Everybody's different. Everybody has different needs. So stop talking about yourself that way, because you are helping people. I've seen your comments. There are people that say that you are helping them and that they feel heard by you. And that's really valuable.
And, yeah, it's been wild. But anyway, Shani, yeah, so it's not, she hasn't been too bad. She's made a concerted effort into approving her approach to everything. And, but my whole thing with Shani is, and I see her trying to take responsibility for her own recovery, and I mean, like, that's, like, I'm proud of her for, like, trying to take accountability and, like, just for trying in general, but...
I'm sorry, did Diet Coca just say that she was proud of me? Did anyone hear that? Has a miracle occurred? What's happening?
Like, I'm proud of her for, like, trying to take accountability and, like, just for trying in general, but
Thank you.
And I get that it's important to repair your health or whatever, and, you know, the wheel is fine and whatever, like, but the point that I feel like Shani, and honestly every single Anna in recovery channel or content I see on the internet, food won't fix the problem, you know?
Never said it would. But because food is a problem when you have an eating disorder, food is going to come up, especially if you have a desire, I guess, to reach other people out there and to let them see that they're not alone and that there are things that they can do that are safe for them, that their heads are telling them are not safe. I never have said that my rainbow wheel and my board and everything is just like the cure-all and that's all you need to do is just eat and it's all about food. I've never said that. This is just simply a tool that I've shared that's something that did help me in my recovery, and I think that's pretty awesome of me to do that. I didn't have to get that vulnerable and go into my brain and share all of that information with people, but I'm only doing it because it helped me and I want it to help somebody else, and I'm not saying it's going to cure everything. It's just a tool. It's part of it. It's not the whole thing, and it might not even be a tool for everybody, and that's okay too. But there are people out there that could benefit from it, and that's why I'm doing it. Just like there are people out there that benefit from you being super blunt, super honest. Not that I'm not honest, but you know what I mean? Like straightforward and just say it how it is and just say how you feel and don't care about hurting people's feelings. And some people need that too. So I can recognize that in you. Can you recognize in me that some people can benefit from what I am doing? It's never going to be a fix all, do all, end all, be all, fix the problem. It's not going to be like that. This is just me sharing something that helped me. That's all. And at least I'm trying to do something to help.
Focusing on food and obsessing with food, it's just making the problem still seem like it's all about food and weight, and I'm not big on that approach. Like, I'm at the point where, like, if I bring myself into this and, like, why I was ever even involved in the first place, it's just, like, I think I'm at the point where I'm a grown-ass woman, right? And I'm so fucking ashamed and sick of dealing with all this bullshit day in, day out, every fucking day for the entirety of, like, as long as I can fucking remember. And it just feels unfair.
Wait,
because
what?
It feels like a situation that was forced on me. And I didn't really ask to be this way, but now I'm kind of stuck. And it's a huge, stupid part of my life.
Wait, I actually have no idea what you're talking about. Are you talking about our us? Are you talking about us? Are you talking about your channel? Are you talking about Eugenia? What are you talking about?
You know, food is a manifestation of a bigger problem.
Sure, it always is.
And I feel like keeping yourself sick and infantilized and having to learn how to eat and having to go to the hospital all the time. I mean, I just feel like that's avoiding growing up and taking responsibility for yourself and your life. You know, like...
So would you rather that I just like stay home and never go to the doctor and never go to the hospital and never let them do surgeries and procedures and medications that will help me not get sicker or possibly die? How's that not being an adult? I get that I'm childlike. I know that. Like, I know that I have trauma from my childhood. And what is it called? Like age regression? No, what is it called? Something like where you get stuck sometimes in the mind of whatever age you were traumatized in. And I've admitted to that so many times, but it feels hurtful, I guess. It just kind of feels like you're shaming me for this when I and so many people struggle with this, and it's already embarrassing enough for ourselves. Like, you saying that out loud is really painful to hear for people like us who are this way, but we can't even help it. Like, we don't even realize we're doing it most of the time. It's very subconscious for me, but like, yeah, when I edit my videos, I'm like, oh, you are very childlike, like grow up a little. But like, there's no reason. I don't understand the point of like, you know, trying to use it against me and saying that it's an unhealthy or it's not a good thing to put out there on the internet when there are so many people out there that struggle with the same thing that I do. So many people that have come to me and been like, yeah, I was traumatized in childhood and it's been really hard for me to grow up. It's not that simple. It's not something that's a state of mind that I'm not constantly in. It's just something that it's like this all day and I cannot help it. I'm sorry. I'm trying to help it behind the scenes, but like, it's really, really hard for some people to learn, to grow. I'm not dumb, I'm not stupid, even though I've been told my whole life that I am, but that's because I look that way, and I get that. Like, I do have smarts about me, it's just not the same smarts as the rest of the world. I just have smarts here and there about a couple things, and those are the things that I'm trying to share with the world that can help, and the other things, I talk to my therapist. I don't tell the internet about why, like details, like intimate details of why I have age regression or why it's taken me so long to finally like grow up and take responsibility and get better. Like, I don't understand the point of pointing this out to an audience and shaming me for it. I would never come on here and call out your behavior that I think is irresponsible and toxic to show the world. I'm not going to go into specifics about that because like that's your business and that's your story and there's a reason that you are the way that you are. And so why not just take the way that you are and some people don't like it. Well, maybe you could actually use that though to actually reach people, which you're doing. You're reaching a few people out there that need to hear things in the way that you're hearing things. And I'm reaching people out there. The loneliness for me is what almost killed me. And if somebody had come to me when I was really struggling, like as a teenager and as a child, and said to me these things and warned me of what could happen, and warn me like, hey, you're going to develop these health issues that you can't help, but then you're also going to develop some from your eating disorder that are going to keep you from doing the one thing that you always wanted to do, which was being a mother. If somebody out there had told me that when I was little, while it was still being engraved in my brain. And so like I'm working on a lifetime of trauma and undoing the way that I think, and I'm pretty damn proud of myself, to be honest, for that. And so, yeah, so it does hurt when you say stuff like that. I'm just being honest because you're honest. So I'm going to be honest with you. Like, why are you shaming people for their traumas? Why are you doing that? You have so many good points and so many good things to say. Stop like being so mean to people about it and just try and open your mind and see that like not everybody's going to be like you. That's why I think we could help each other. I could soften you up and you could toughen me up for the same cause to reach people. Good hell, I don't even care. Like if your channel helped my entire audience, 90,000 subscribers, more than my videos did, I would send them to your channel. I would give you all of my subscribers because it's not about that. It's about me reaching as many people as I can, and especially about warning as many people as I can that they don't go down the same road that I went through. Don't you want to do the same thing? You have been through hell. The little bits that you've shared with us here and there, you have been through hell.
Everyone had a simp ass standing paying their bills for them. They would be doing the exact same thing.
That's so rude. You're making come on, that's a judgment. You don't know me well enough to say that.
It's still obviously detrimental to you. And
you don't see what goes on outside of my videos.
Like your bulimia charts and wheels and whatever, like that's fine, but I just think you're kind of beyond the help of that. And I think you know that, but what I think, I think would keep you in the disorder of becoming a bulimic Amberlynn Reed is if you never really address the fears of responsibility and your chronic and excessive need for validation. Like, I mean, the whole thing about rerouting your channel and, like, it just seems like everything is grasping at straws to, like, desperately try to please everybody.
Yeah, that's true. And I've been like that my whole life. I've always been a people pleaser. I was taught to be a people pleaser. I had to please my abuser. This isn't an excuse. I know you're going to say this is just an excuse, and we've all been through trauma, but I'm trying to share with you why I am the way that I am, okay? It was my job growing up to make my abuser happy so that he didn't hurt the rest of the family or didn't hurt me. And so I literally was trained since I was a little girl to be sweet and cute and funny and loving and caring and all of these things in order to protect myself. And I realized that sometimes that is a problem to me. I get that. Like, I'm just telling you where it came from and why it's so hard for me to change that. But it's something that I'm trying. I am trying so hard. You have no idea how hard I'm trying to change my thinking and the way that I was trained to think for my entire life. It's not easy. Give me a chance. Give me a break. I'm doing my best, girl. Come on. We all are.
I think it just seems like everything is grasping at straws to, like, desperately try to please everybody.
Yeah, because I want to reach more people and warn more people. That's why.
And I think that is what your eating disorder is, not food. Does that make any sense? And I just don't think it's a good idea for people in recovery to show their food or their diets. Like, that's a goofy ass thing to do. Like, have you ever seen how the internet reacts to how people eat? Like, don't do that. Like, I feel like I absolutely could not fucking handle that. And if I can't, there's no fucking way Shani can. And it's cool if you want to help people and all, Shani, but I think focusing on food and obsessing with food, it's just making the problem still seem like it's all about food and weight. And I'm
sorry it looks that way.
Approach, you know?
I'm really sorry it looks that way, for real. I really feel badly about that.
I just think because it feels like a situation that was forced on me. And I didn't really ask to be this way, but now I'm kind of stuck. And it's a huge, stupid part of my life. And everywhere I look for someone that is like me or something to relate to, it just feels even more alienating and even more embarrassing and even...
You just made my point. There's so many people out there looking for somebody to understand the way that they are. So there's nothing wrong with the people that find help and comfort and understanding from my videos. And there's nothing wrong with the people that find help and understanding and comfort from your videos. Because doesn't that suck to feel isolated, to feel alone, and to not be able to find people that are like you? It sucks.
Something to relate to. It just feels even more alienating and even more embarrassing and even more shameful, because it's like,
I'm sorry you have to go through that.
Someone can work, but they're crying and passing out all the time and making themselves throw up, and it's just this whole stupid fucking laundry list of problems that they have. Like, it's just...
I'm really sorry that my laundry list of problems is so hard for you. That must be really hard for you. I'm really sorry about that.
It never seems to be anything but about crying, look how sick I am. And it just seems to be avoiding the real problem, you know? Like, someone's cutting themselves and being dumb on TikTok, and it just gets so fucked up and ridiculous whenever it's all like I was the sickest, look at how sick I was. Like, it just seems to be Tumblr competition of who was the sickest. Like I remember everybody doing that back in the live journal days. I feel like we were a lot more intense about it. back whenever
I don't know anything
in
about
the
Tumblr.
Pro-Ana days, I remember I feel like we were even like way more intense about it. I feel like we were just more meaner in our attitudes. Like we would all call each other out a lot more. Like we were I don't know.
You're talking about
I wish I
Tumblr?
could dig it up a little bit
Wait, are you talking about Tumblr or YouTube? What are you talking about?
better and look at old evidence, but you know, we got banned a lot all the time. That sucks. But the worst part is, I kind of understand what it feels like to want to be sick. I understand what it feels like to not feel right, to be healthy. And I know what trying to match your outside to your inside feels like, but I don't understand why I'm like that. And that's why I'm not trying to help recover people online. But I think it would be a lot more progressive and helpful to explore the obsession with sickness, the validation, the obsession in general, than it
Helpful
would be
to who? Because if you go read all my comments, 99% of the people say that I am helping them. So who are you talking? Are you talking about you and your audience and people that think the way that you do? Because if that's true, like, I appreciate, the constructive criticism here, but I don't agree that that's what I need to do. That's not something that I need to do publicly. When I share things publicly about like my own life, my own recovery, my own mental health state, I'm only sharing the things that I think can help people out there to not feel alone. You're sitting here saying you should do this with your channel when you don't really care about my opinion anyway. And no matter what I do, it doesn't make you happy. Like, you left a comment somewhere at some point saying something like Shani's videos, she used to put more effort, like the day in the life of bulimic and the day in the life of, like, those are really good videos that she put effort into, and those are helpful, and now she's lazy and now she doesn't do anything. I don't remember exactly what you said, but along those lines. And now I'm actually doing something again, and I'm trying to do something and doing whatever I feel like I can do. But I also want to say, like, I don't need your validation. The reason I'm doing this is because I see worth in you, that you can help people, that you already are helping people.
sickness, the validation, the obsession in general, than it would be to eat your audience's fear foods. And I mean, like, that just doesn't go for you. That I think that's for everybody. I just don't think, I don't know. It just, mixing food with recovery and stuff, like if you're in a recovery, I'm not saying cancel it, I'm not saying stop doing what you're doing, I'm just saying think about it, I guess. And I don't think you necessarily need to do that. You necessarily need to draw all of that out.
I hear you.
But
I'll think about that.
I don't know. I just think like the pure fluff and the food thing, it's just, I don't know. It just doesn't seem like that good of an idea.
It's your opinion.
I mean, the graphs and charts and writing is something I only do whenever I restrict. I mean, maybe that's not the same for everybody, but if it works for you, that's great. And I think you're trying and you're doing your best to get back.
Thank you.
Whenever you were making better videos and stuff, and that's cool and all, but
thank you.
Before you had like a new weird diagnosis every single day, but
so sorry about that. Wow. Jeez. Must be so hard for you.
Yeah, all recovery accounts are kind of like that though. They kind of totally neglect any underlying issues and entirely obsessed with food, and they make you feel, it's so lame. They're all so super fucking lame, and they make you feel like you're in a really lame class or something where you can't smoke weed. Anyway, bye.
Oh, well, there you go. There's that video. Okay, now I'm going to respond to her other one that she posted like about a week later, I think. Why it's dumb to eat your viewers' fear foods.
Hi. So I've addressed this before, but I feel like my thoughts are evolving on it. And as I kind of read through comment sections, I just wanted to come back and touch on it again and hold our own discussions about it, just because I can do what I want. So can you actually have an eating disorder online without triggering everyone the fuck up? But is that even fair? I mean, my triggers can be really obscure. Like an extra skinny branch can set me off. Like when we cancel trees, like fat people can trigger me. But first and foremost, a lot of times, I think these recovery channels start out with well intended, but I just think that they get kind of blindsided. And before I say this, like, don't go attacking anybody. Like, that's lame. But
Thank you. Same goes for me. Don't go attacking her, please.
Yeah. I think that these kind of start to become like these fan service channels of like, it's like a vicarious fantasy for anorexics and bulimics to watch somebody live out their dream fantasy recovery in real time, you know? Like, all these people who can't eat those foods, like, they want this girl to eat their fear foods. Like, I think that's going on. And it's fucking weird.
Why is that weird?
I think that they've convinced
that I'm
themselves
showing them that it's safe to eat their foods. And listen, here's the thing. I'm primarily bulimic, have been my whole life, overeating and bulimia. I've experienced anorexia a couple times. And I actually was talking to a friend about this the other day, and she brought up a really good point, which is that if you're looking to trigger yourself, like if you're looking to watch somebody eat your fear food for you so that you can do it vicariously through them and then you don't have to eat or whatever it is that you're using it for, they would just go search for a mukbang. They're not going to click on a video that's 45 minutes long where I am eating slow as hell, taking one bite at a time, talking in between each bite, going through 10 annoying slow steps to get all the food in. They're not going to want to watch that. They're going to want to watch somebody who's just eating and that's it. Because that's what they want to do. They want to eat. They want to eat meat, but they can't do it. And so they're vicariously doing it through other people. And so they're not going to seek something out that's going to help them. And if they do, and they're still triggered by that, I would love to bring up a point that you've brought up several times, which is that people need to take responsibility for their own triggers. This is something you taught me, girl. Yeah, you taught me. Everything you said about like Eugenia Cooney, that's why I took down all of the videos that I did about Eugenia when I had that stance with her. Because I thought that too at one point. At one point, I was like, okay, if we get her off the internet, then she won't be a danger to anybody else and she won't be a danger to herself. And so let's do everything we can to get her off the internet. That was my thinking, well-intended, obviously. At the same time, people are going to go seek out triggering content no matter what. Whether you post something, listen, there was a video, I think I've talked about this before, but I'll bring it up again. There was a video a long time ago, like probably the first or second year-ish of my channel. And a girl left a comment. I'm going to like change the details here because I don't want to like call her out. And I feel terrible for what she had to go through. But like, this reminds me of this. She said something along the lines of, let me think of an example. Okay, you use this kind of hairspray in your video. And I was R-worded with the guy who had this bottle of hairspray in the room that he did it to me with, and I could see it while he was doing that to me, and so you triggered me. And like you even just said yourself, like even a tree branch can trigger you, like, and we're not going to go cancel trees. So like, I just don't, do you see how you're like you're always saying it's not Eugenia's responsibility to, you know, help people with their triggers or to stop their triggers or to get off the internet. How come all of a sudden now my videos to you are like something that people are going to go searching for to trigger themselves? Probably are. That doesn't mean I'm going to not try and do something. And that doesn't mean that the rest of the people out there don't need the help and that don't need support and that don't need a warning of what can happen. And I guarantee that if I had had somebody like that to watch that would go step by step, again, I truly do not think that very many people, I'm sure there are some, I'm sure. And to those people, I will forever be sorry. But after years of doing this, there's no way that I can make everybody happy, that I can do everything perfectly for everybody. Getting Eugenia off the internet isn't the answer because they'll just go find a trigger somewhere else. It's not about Eugenia, it's about them. It's about them finding their trigger. So how is that like my responsibility? You're kind of going against what you used to say about Eugenia.
This girl to eat their fear foods. Like, I think that's going on. And it's fucking weird.
It's not weird for some people.
I think that
it's helpful.
Convinced themselves that they're doing a good thing, or, you know, they at least know that they're doing what they're doing and saying what everybody wants them to do and saying what everybody wants to hear, you know. And they think they're doing good by their audience that way, but it's Not to say that I think, and I don't think that we should flip around and go, hey, fuck you, you're doing sick, fucked up internet shit, we need to cancel you. Like, no, don't do that. It's just, think about the shit that you're doing.
I know.
Because it is weird.
It's hard. It's a fine line between recovery and sickness, like the thinking. There's a very fine line, and it's very hard. That's why eating disorders are so freaking hard, because there's that little fine line that it's like they can mesh together just even a little bit, and it will make it feel like one is right and one is wrong, and one is right and one is wrong, and they come together, and then I'm not good with words, but that's an eating disorder for you.
And it's not... It's like a 5-year-old that's sitting there watching Kinder Eggs for like 10 hours. Like, it's just like, it's weird and that it's causing, like, it's damaging,
And no watch.
And,
you don't have to.
I'm not saying that we gotta, like, go stop them. It's just, like, just think about it. It'd be cool if anorexics could stop going, like, hey, I'm gonna eat all the food that you're scared to eat, and I want you to watch me eat it, and, what if, like, all these anorexics are going to this girl's channel, right? And going like, hey, all the viewers send in your foods. And that's not, how is this a good thing? That's not okay. And,
Why?
They want you to watch the food.
I'm just trying to show people that I went from a person of being very afraid of keeping down certain foods. And now that I've learned how to do that, I want to share that with other people and to show them that it is safe to do that. And if it's not, even if they're not participating, even if they are there to trigger themselves or whatever, they're there, and who knows, they could pick up something that could help them in the future. Who knows? Maybe if they hear me say something over and over and over in that series, maybe it'll pick up something for them in their own life, and they can interpret it in their own way, and it will somehow help them. We don't know, at least at least I'm trying something here,
I know it sounds like, but isn't it good to have anorexics eat? Isn't it good that she's eating again? But yeah, I know, but it's an eating disorder,
but it's
binging
complicated.
is part of the problem. Like, they're not magic fairies that just don't eat. Like,
I'm not binging.
Binging is as much of the problem as starving.
Yeah, because for a lot of anorexics in recovery have to go through something called the refeeding process, which is so hard. It takes time for them. Like, they have to eat very small amounts at a time. Their body just isn't used to eating. And if they're to like overdo it, then that could actually hurt them. And so, like, I get what you're saying. Like, I totally get what you're saying when it comes to that. But again, like, I'm also not out here trying to like hurt people that are recovering. I'm trying to help whoever it will help. And if it doesn't help anorexics, go watch my latest Trigger Food Tuesday. I actually talked about this, and I addressed this and said that I don't think that it will. I can hope that and pray that maybe they'll pick up something from it, but I think it's primarily for binge eaters and bulimics, and that's the lane that I need to stay in. I don't have enough experience with anorexia to do an entire board like that and a wheel and know that and have lived it. That I think I've been anorexic maybe a total of 2 to 3 years over the span of my life. And so that's why I admire hearing other points of view from people that have gone through anorexia more than I have and what could help them. And I just got ahead of myself thinking that maybe it would help everybody, and it's not going to help everybody. And I admitted that in the last one. If you want to go and watch it, I was wrong about that, and all I can do is just do my best to help the people that I can help.
Binging is part of the problem. Like, they're not magic fairies that just don't eat. Like, binging is as much of the problem as starving is. It's the channels are food, obsessed with the food, and the food gets dressed up as nice and as pretty, and it looks as inviting and as wonderful as the diets and the bones and the exercise and the puking did. And I get that anorexics need to eat. I don't want to discourage them from eating, but the answers aren't in a diet or the food. And I just want someone with an eating disorder to be like, dude, I'm not a magical fairy creature, and eating this
I'm not a magical fairy creature.
I want to cram
eating this
all
is
the shit
hard.
in my mouth,
I want to cram all the shit in my
as
mouth
anyone else
as much
does.
as anyone else does.
It's just that after I eat it, there's baggage.
After I eat it, there's baggage.
They can't just like cram Nutella and ice cream and challenge sugar cereals into their mouth for the rest of their lives and maintain a perfect recovery body. It's not realistic. And obsessing with the food is as bad as obsessing with the weight. It's all the same disorder, and you're still being ruled by the disorder if you're obsessing with the food, and they're obsessing with being the perfect recovered anorexic, like obsessing with perfection.
Yeah. It's not
And
perfect.
like, oh, I'm going to do this right.
I'm sorry if I've made it look that way. If I've made it look perfect, it's not. It's hard.
All the food things right. I'm going to eat all these things right anyway. Like, that's the problem. Not that you're not eating it, it's that you had to eat it perfectly. That's still part of the problem. And you, like, your family picking your food and your audience picking your food, and like, and saying that that's healthy and recovered, it's toxic and it's fucked up and it's fucking stupid. It's not... And it's not as easy as just going, hey, look there, I ate again. Like, eating disorders are monsters that take over your whole fucking life. And they're huge, multifaceted monsters that aren't just fucking food, you stupid fucking bitches. And, like, you have problems with relationships connecting with people, and you have traumatic relationships with your whole life, and there are significant problems with your, like, family dynamics and serious issues with your whole entire fucking life that you're not going to beat by just eating.
When did I say I would?
And it's like all of this is brushed under the rug, and it's like this nice tiny, it's like eating disorders made by Disney, and it's so fucking stupid. And it's like, you can't just eat like that and make food look normal to you again afterwards. And there's just so many psychological issues that just are not being addressed. And
I get what you're saying.
I
Give me a
know
second.
that a lot of these girls seem like really hardcore people pleasers, and a lot of people with eating disorders are like really heavy validation seekers and stuff. And I know that they're very young, and they just came out of like this place where everybody was very upset with them, and they think that they're evil for having an eating disorder. And then like whenever you have a disorder, everyone's up your ass all the time, and you have to lie and live this big giant secret because they all desperately want the validation for being the most recovered anorexic, and all they have to do is show off how sick they got and eat a shit ton of food. And that's what I meant earlier by living their viewers' dream recovery. Like, their viewers find someone that got as sick as they fantasized about getting, and they have pictures of like all of the stuff that they wanted in the hospital, their tubes and their like their families at their bedsides, and like all of that shit that they desperately wanted.
Yeah, I've seen that.
It's just like out there, video after video after video, and of all the bones that they wanted. It's just like there in front of their face, like, I could have that. And like, even though that's not necessarily going to be your story, even if you do the same shit that she does. You know, like, even if you get as skinny, you don't have her family. You know what I mean? And
yeah, we're all different situations, different backgrounds, everything.
They get the treatment that they needed and wish that people would force them into, and then they see all the fear foods, and then they that they want to eat so bad, and like, maybe I'll get to eat that again if I only get as skinny as she did. You know, but I just can't yet because I haven't reached her level. Ergo, they make this recovering anorexic their little puppet to go to and do and say all the things that they wish that they were doing in their recovery, eating all the things that they wish they were eating, saying and doing, and all the things that then she's being all the things that they wish they were, and no one is being helped. They're just living their fantasy lives, and you're in a really weird Truman Show. Okay, bye.
Like, I agree with you that happens. I totally agree with you that happens for a lot of people. But again, like you said with Eugenia, and like you said with many other things, like, how come that's my responsibility? Like, at some point, and this is something I had to learn, which was really hard, I had to take responsibility for my own triggers. And if I'm going to choose to trigger myself in a way, then that's on me, not the person that triggered me. And that's something that I had to learn. And so I think that it's only fair, and you know, I'm telling you that, like, you were right about that. You were absolutely right that Eugenia is not the reason that people have eating disorders. People have eating disorders because they have eating disorders. It's a disease, trauma, many different things can go into it. And it's not Eugenia's fault. Like, she's not on there telling people to not eat. Yes, her body's triggering. Yes, her content is triggering. However, people know that going in watching. Either you're gonna go watch and you're gonna be sympathetic and feel bad for her, or you're gonna be angry at her for triggering people, or you're just going to trigger yourself. That's all up to the person and not her. So I'm just asking you to give me that same respect of not saying that I'm making the problem worse. Do you know what I'm saying? Am I making sense? I'm not good with words. You know this. Everyone knows this. I suck. But anyway, I guess there's my response to that. I would love for you to respond back if you want to. You don't have to. Again, if you like call me names and like be super, super rude, I'm not going to respond. I'm sorry. That's just how I am. I'm not going to hear you if you're going to verbally abuse me. So if you'd like to respond maturely, like you were talking to me in this video, except for a few little names here and there. But like, if you want to, you know, respond civilly like that, then I would love to hear that from you. So anyway, all right, this is long enough. I'm gonna go. You guys are wonderful and beautiful. Thank you for joining. And there's a lot of what she did say that I do want to go think about. So I will. I love you guys, and I will see you on Tuesday, but possibly sooner. We'll see. I love you so much. And remember forever and always that you're beautiful, you're worth it, and I am too. Thank you for watching. Bye.